There have been quite a few events the past few days. First, the hire of K-State's basketball coach. The Equestrian team competed in the Big 12 Championship, and the K-State Fishing Club had a tournament.
Let's go now to our sports anchor, Don Bolerjack, to find out more about these events. Don, what do you have for us today?
Well, thanks, Brian. Well, I'll tell you, it's been quite an eventful past week. The Kansas State Equestrian team had an up-and-down season, but they were able to show off their skills at the Big 12 Championship last Friday and Saturday. The hootin' and the hollerin' was at an all-time high for these ladies, and the competition had teams from all over the Big 12, such as Iowa State, KU, and, of course, K-State. After all was said and done, the Kansas State ended up getting third place in the Big 12 competition. There are a lot of teams at K-State. Some are well known around campus, like football, of course, basketball, and equestrian, but others aren't. Those more under-the-radar teams have just the same amount of drive and passion as all the others, though. The fishing poles and bait were pulled out last weekend when the Kansas State fishing team had a tournament. The team gathered Sunday morning, and it was an early rise for me when I went out and joined up with the fishermen of K-State. And I gotta tell you, it was a real sight to see. But not a lot of the people are aware that K-State has a fishing team. So I went out to find out more.
The team is idling, and now they're off to the races. But it's not a boat race. It's a race to find the biggest fish. At 6:30 Sunday morning, the fishing team loaded up and took off to find their ideal fishing spot. I'm here at Milford Lake where the Kansas State fishing team is having their first team scrimmage of the season. I jumped on one of their boats to see if the fish were biting. Fishing is an art to these boys. It takes patience, strategy, and knowledge of the terrain and lake. But all their work goes towards one goal, to be invited to a national tournament.
Yeah, so these, like today, we're having a club tournament, which is only within our club. And we do these mainly to decide who gets to go to the big national tournaments. We'll have 3 or 4 club tournaments in the fall, and usually the top 8 anglers get a chance to go to a national tournament with other schools.
The specific length of the bass is important. It's required that it measure 15 inches for the fish to count in the weighing process at the end of the tournament.
He's gonna be 14 1/4.
Some teams were having luck.
Felt a lot bigger. Bring it back at you. Here it comes. Get him. Yeah, baby. And that's how it's done.
But some weren't. Some of the guys I spoke to said that it just depends on the day and where the fish are spawning.
It turned out to be a really beautiful day on the lake, and I was able to talk to many individuals on the team, and it was obvious that they loved what they did. But something I found fascinating was the amount of fishing poles that each of the fishermen had. The average fisherman actually had about 5 to 6 fishing poles, and each one of them had their own specific use. So it turned out to be quite an interesting day. But I'll tell you, we're going to take a quick break here. We'll head it right back, and we'll be right back here on Channel 8 News.